Good morning, everyone. Got your coffee? I got mine. Woo, child, and it's hot too. That first sip of the day hits every single time. Coffee drinkers, unite. And an honorable mention to you tea drinkers too. Before I get started saying what I want to say thank you so much to Garrett. Thank you so much. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. You are such a supportive and loving and kind sister. I wish I knew more women like you in my real everyday life. I genuinely feel your love and support. I do. And the same thing for you, Miss Tammy. Tammy, thank you so much. I know you've been here, but you took a big step forward, and it feels like you kind of came out of nowhere. And I just really appreciate you, because I just couldn't do it without sisters like you. And Gwendolyn, thank you so much. I appreciate you all. I really do. With that being said, who out here paying child support? Now, let me help you here. Unless it's your children, you don't need to be out here paying anybody's child support. I'm so disappointed to see and hear about so many black women paying the child support of black men. Please stop that. Please stop that. First of all, if he's taking care of his kids, you don't need to be fucking with him if he's not taking care of his kids. And I asked myself, I said, how are women getting to this point? Because this is like some kind of new phenomenon. How are women getting to the point where they're paying these men child support? And it's not where she's married and they're taking their income tax or garnishing her check too. Because the way I would get a divorce so fast, no, I'm not taking care of another woman's kids in that respect, in that kind of respect. I could see if they were his kids, and if I wanted to be somebody's stepmama, and they came over and I was caring for them, that'd be different. That would be different. But actually taking money out of my check to cover some man's child support because he can't, that's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. But no, that's not what's going on. It's not even that situation. These are women who are actively paying of their own free will some man's child support for his kids because he's that far behind in child support. Stop. Knock that off. Knock that off. What in the desperation? What in the desperate housewives? What are you doing? Sisters, don't go out like that. Don't go out like that. I don't care if you're rich. I don't care if you're poor. I don't care if you're in between. Let that man deal with the financial consequences of his own actions. If that man need help, I mean, and I thought about it because I'm like, why would a woman do that? And I think that the logic behind that, I think what y'all are experiencing, for those of you all who are doing this or have done this, is that you don't want to be with a deadbeat man. I mean, yeah, you want to help him out. He's probably giving you some kind of sob story about why he's $1 million in debt, child support debt, why he can't seem to take care of the children that he brought into this world. And he's selling y'all some kind of sob story. You're falling for it because you're not honoring yourselves and you're honoring him more than you are yourself. That's why, I say to you all, never love a man more than you love yourself. Never love a man more than you love yourself. That's where a lot of y'all go wrong. Because they put y'all in these situations where you are not honoring yourselves. And paying some raggedy man's child support, you're not honoring yourself. You're not. You're not. I think that a lot of you all don't want to be with men who are considered to be deadbeats, because we all know that men that do not pay their child support are, in essence, deadbeats. And I don't think that you want to be with a deadbeat, that kind of a man, and so you're trying to help him out. Don't do that. Don't do that. If that man can't afford his children, that's that man's problem. Stop. That ain't even what I want to talk about. I just want to. Did y'all see what state was it? New Jersey recently, where all those women woke up to those huge amounts of money in their accounts. New Jersey got some kind of law, something happened where they can now go into your savings account and they can drain a man or woman, if she owes, child support out of those savings accounts now. I saw one TikTok where a woman woke up to $55,000, and she woke up to $55,000 because the man's mother died and he got some inheritance, and she got 55. She called to find out where it was coming from. I wouldn't have called nobody, but she called to find out where the money was coming from, and that's where the mother died, his mother died, and she got that money. I know a woman personally that worked at GM. She lived across the street from me back when I lived in Detroit and was raising my kids. She over in GM, she worked at GM rather, and she had 3 sons, 3 adult sons. And at the time, her oldest one had to have been about 45 years old or something like that. And all of a sudden, she got this infusion, this big child support money. Man, don't never take them off child support. Even if your baby daddy not helping you, put him on paper. Same thing. If your baby mama not helping, put her on paper. Put her on paper. Because somehow, some way, they're going to pay. If they hit the lottery, they're going to pay. If there's somebody's beneficiary, they're going to pay. Somehow, if they got money in the bank and they live in states like New Jersey, and if this spreads, they're going to pay. Don't never take them off child support. Ever. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled program. Did y'all see that stitch I did with Tabitha Speaks Politics? I know I bring her up all the time, but she's a really good. I watch a lot of her content so that I can stay up on the political game. You know, I get all of my political commentary from the smarter black people on TikTok. You know, like her and Too Raw, Too Real, and Giles, and Colorful Story. I get all my political commentary from those black people. So anyway, I did a stitch with her where she was talking about this story where, because since the Trump administration has taken over, black people are losing their jobs. And I stitched it because remember when I told you that was going to happen and that it was going to affect black women especially? I told you the writing was on the wall. The writing was on the wall. And, you know, this is a big part of the reason why I do things. You know, I do these videos is because I just really want to help black people who, you know, sometimes might have, for one reason or another, might have a harder time putting those pieces of the puzzle together. I said that this was going to happen. When they went after DEI and when they went after affirmative action, who did you think that they were coming for? We read Project 2025. We knew what the Trump administration had in store for us. When they went after affirmative action, that's because they want to make it harder for black people to get in college. And the reason why they want to make it harder for black people, you have to turn over to the next page and read that page. And you got to think deeper. The reason why they want to make it harder for black people to get into college is because they don't want you to graduate from college. Why don't they want you to graduate from college? Well, because they don't want to fucking hire you. Which is the same reason why they went after affirmative action. And they start saying, oh, it's going to be merit-based. No, the fuck it ain't. Which is why we needed affirmative action in the first place, because it was never merit-based. It was always about white people tipping the scales so that it benefited them, so that mediocre white people don't have to go up against black excellence. That's the reason why they attacked affirmative action. Shame on you, Clarence Thomas. Shame on you. Benefited from it and then pulled the ladder up and away from other black people. Closed the door in the faces of other black people. What a coon. What a coon. And then they used those Asians to do it because Asians said we can't get into Harvard because of these fucking black people. And they made it harder for black people to get into Harvard. Or maybe not Harvard specifically, because we know what's going on with Harvard. Let's use another Ivy League, because Harvard is sticking to their guns right now. So let's not use Harvard. Let's say Yale. They definitely made it harder for black people, but they didn't make it easier for themselves. Instead, the white folks laughed and pushed them right on out of the way on their way into Yale and the other Ivies. They used them Asians. And because of the anti-blackness in the Asian community, Asians allowed it. They allowed themselves to be used like that. Well, that's the reason why they went after affirmative action. So that they can go back to legally not hiring qualified black people. The writing was on the wall. And that is why I said is one of the reasons why black people need to get into community with one another. And it's another reason why you need to learn a skilled trade. And you need to encourage your children to learn a skilled trade. You need to encourage them to read. If you think that black schools are not fully funded now, especially in red states like this one, what do you think is going on? They don't want to have to consider us. And so we have to band together and we have to consider ourselves. We have to, burying your head in the sand is not going to help it. That's just going to hurt us as a community. It is. Ignoring it, ignoring the writing on the wall. Over 400,000 black women in corporate losing their job. That didn't surprise me at all. I dare you to say I didn't tell you that wasn't going to happen. I dare you to say I never told y'all that was going to happen. I told y'all that was what was going to happen. I told you. Learn a skill trade. That way, if you learn a skill trade, your money isn't dependent on the attitudes and whichever way the wind blows when it comes to white people. And whether or not they want to hire black people. They want to push us back into low-paying jobs. They want us back into service jobs. They don't want black people to be high-wage earners. And anything that they can do, any policies that they can put in place to prevent that, they're going to do it. Wake the fuck up. The attacks on us and our community are ongoing. They never stop. They just get more sophisticated. Get a skilled trade. Like I said in that shirt, I'm not telling you to quit your corporate hustle. I'm not telling you to quit your good paying job. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is prepare yourself for the fuck shit that the Trump administration is throwing at us. Prepare yourself for that. Prepare your children for it. It's not going to get easy for us. It's going to get harder. Learn how to do something that can make you money. In your free time, learn a skilled trade. Somebody in my comments said, well, I only know how to do such and such, such and such. Well, you ain't dead, is you? Long as you ain't dead, you can still learn how to do something else. And you know what else? When you learn a trade, I know 2 black women to this day. One does braids, one does lashes. They barter services. That way, no money. If you can take money out of the equation, I don't even think a lot of y'all understand how powerful that is. To be able to take money out of the equation. One of my biggest dreams is to get a venue that's big enough for black people to come, set up shop, and just barter. Skill sets, trades, material goods, just barter. No money needed. So I tell you to grow those gardens. And if you don't have enough, get in community with people. Start pillaging people at a community garden. Those are the people who want a garden. Find a community garden in your area. Hook up with somebody. Tell them, hey, if you grow kale, I'll grow tomatoes, and we can barter. We can barter. Don't throw your stuff away that's still usable. Go on those buy nothing groups. Create your own. There are things that we can do to make life better for us. But you know what? That's going to take y'all deprogramming yourselves and getting away from all these brand name designer labels that don't do nothing but make white folks money. That's going to take a huge amount of deprogramming, because I remember when I had to deprogram myself from it. The purse and the car and the clothes ain't what makes the woman or the man. It's the man or the woman that makes the man or the woman. It's the integrity. It's the character. It's the love you have for your community, the respect you have for it, and for self. That's what makes you the baddest thing walking. It ain't the white man's labels. But y'all ain't ready for that conversation. Y'all ain't ready for that conversation. The only way black people are going to make it through is together. And the only way you're going to do that is you have to be intentional in supporting one another. We have to be intentional in supporting one another. We have to be intentional in supporting one another. You have to be intentional in not giving your money to people who do not look like you and putting your money in the hands of people who do look like you. You have to be intentional about that. That's the only way black people are going to survive this and be better and thrive. Stop begging for seats at their table and start building your own. It's the only way. It's the only way. With that being said, that's all that I have for today. If you would like to support the platform, I would greatly appreciate it. I will leave my Cash App and my Venmo down in the comments. Same thing for the Library Pantry or The Great Escape. Y'all have a good day. Have a righteous day. Do something nice for somebody today. Celebrate and support your own people. Don't let the others talk you out of that. Deconstruct. Have a day.